Hey guys, I want to talk about something that is extremely horrible and irritating to think about. Balloons. Who would have guessed? They are a menace to our nature, they're a menace to the animals, they can cause problems to power lines and to low-flying aircraft. And you're probably like wondering, why am I sitting next to this birthday balloon if I hate balloons so much? I found this in a bush, stuck in a bush, just blowing in the wind, and it's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time that I found a balloon. Mylar balloons, latex balloons, they're all horrible, especially this string. There are articles online where they have found animals deceased that have pieces of the balloon stuck in their stomach. They have this string wrapped up in their intestines. It's sad, they don't know any better. They just see these colorful things and they're starving and they eat it. You don't go into the store and look at the balloons and think, oh my god, that's just gonna blow away and get eaten by some animal. You go to the store, you see these balloons, it's like, oh, how cute, that one has these cool patterns, I'm gonna get this as a gift for this person. And what if that person just lets it go in the wind? And then you've both condoned to littering. I sound really extreme, I know, but it's crazy because these balloons will travel for hundreds of miles and they could end up anywhere. I've came across a school online who will remain unnamed unless you guys want me to spill the beans. This school releases hundreds of red latex balloons every year. From what I recall, there were no strings attached to them, but still it's horrible to release them. They release hundreds of balloons for Drug Prevention Week. It's like, what about releasing all of these balloons is going to teach kids not to do drugs? That is not how you teach kids about drug prevention. That's freaking horrible. It's littering hundreds of pieces of things that is going to potentially cause damage to an innocent animal. Like, there's better alternatives to teaching kids drug prevention. This also brings me to the next topic of people releasing them to celebrate. I don't want to sound insensitive. I understand that, well, for this aspect, celebrating somebody's life, which is a common occurrence when people release a bunch of balloons. When these balloons are released to celebrate this person's life, you don't know where they're going to end up. So why waste that resource? I know I sound so insensitive bringing this up and it's horrible, but there are better things that you could do to celebrate somebody's life or somebody's graduation or a marriage. There's just so many better things than releasing balloons. You could release butterflies, you could release, I almost said balloons, don't release balloons. You could release birds that are trained to come back. You can release bubbles, just don't litter the bubble stick or container, please. Please don't litter anything because it's not good to leave trash laying around. We don't want to leave this earth polluted for the future generations. We should keep things clean and beautiful because that makes people happy. I've lost half of my brain seeing stuff just laying on the side of the road. I've had really horrible dark thoughts over simple things like seeing balloons tied up outside. One time I was driving through town and I noticed a balloon that was stuck in a tree on my lunch break. I stopped, got it, and then I was driving further and I noticed this whole parking lot just had a bunch of balloons everywhere, and I'm like, what is going on here? So when I got off work, I went to this place that put all the balloons out. It was a new restaurant that was celebrating their grand opening, and I went in there pretty furious, demanding to have them remove the balloons because they can kill animals and it's littering. You never know if somebody's gonna come cut this string or if the wind is fierce enough to blow it off of whatever it's tied to, because that happens. Like, these things float and blow and wind is strong. So I go into this restaurant and I'm asking to speak to the manager, and I showed him pictures of animals that have been killed from balloons because I was freaking really upset, and it bothered me. It bothers me to think about it now, and this was like over a year ago. I've also seen balloons flying across a basin that we drive up to get into the town that I live in, and I've pulled off onto the side of a sketchy road to chase this balloon into this desert basin, which I probably shouldn't have walked through, but I just couldn't help it. That really bothered me. It's hard, and it's very common to go out. It's really common to go out into the desert or anywhere else and find balloons. They're just everywhere. My dad recently went out and he found all of these just on one trip into the desert. And I know people aren't releasing these things to be malice. They're not trying to kill animals, but they just don't understand that this is a problem. And if we can spread awareness to people and provide better alternatives for certain things rather than releasing these balloons for whatever reason, not to sound insensitive, it's very irresponsible for these things to be released and to not be taken seriously on the fact that they can cause so much harm to an innocent creature, low-flying planes, power lines, and just polluting the land. And even at the ocean, people will find balloons floating in the ocean, on the shore, stuck in the sea life, animals that were hungry. It's really disturbing to think about, and it's driven me crazy the past few years. And I've been meaning to share this with people because more people need to realize how freaking rampant it is, and hopefully they can stop other people from releasing balloons. Fortunately, me sharing this on my local Facebook group, I was able to touch the heart of one of my local Facebook group people and he was able to stop people from releasing a bunch of balloons, and he shared that with me, and it was just so heartwarming. And I'm so thankful that people acknowledge this stuff when it's brought to their attention and they can help make a difference. So if you, whoever you are, watching this video, if you see anybody that is going to release a balloon, please inform them that there are better alternatives to balloon releasing and that these balloons can cause a lot of problems, because I'm sure they don't know. But then again, let me backtrack. When I was posting on this local Facebook group of the balloon that I found floating in the basin, I had people that were like kind of attacking me, and this guy was teasing or something, and he's like, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of balloons and release them now. And I'm like, dude, what is that gonna do? You're making yourself look like a jerk. You're stressing me out, and you're gonna go freaking litter? Like, littering is illegal. Let me backtrack even further. I didn't finish the story on the restaurant. I actually called the local sheriff before I went into the restaurant because I was furious when I seen the balloons, and I was saying, like, this is littering. these balloons are tied up outside, they're gonna blow away. And the sheriff told me if this balloon blows away, it's nobody's fault. Nobody would be held accountable for littering. What's the difference of me going and throwing a piece of plastic out of my window or a piece of freaking foil, mylar, whatever material? Then I would be held responsible, but it's okay for somebody to tie this stuff up outside on a windy day and it's not completely secure and it's gonna blow away. They wouldn't be, that's not a problem. It doesn't make sense, and that really upset me. And I completely forgot about that part of the story. When I look back on these things, it just makes me sweat. It makes me want to punch someone in the face and go pop all the balloons in the store. If I wouldn't get fined for vandalism, I would go to every store and just freaking deflate all the balloons and throw them into the trash can where they belong. Or if they could just stop making these things, period, then we won't have to put them in the landfill. And we won't have to worry about them going out and destroying the ecosystem or innocent animals. And we won't have to worry about people sitting there inhaling all the helium, because that kills some brain cells, even though it's kind of entertaining. Anyways, balloons suck and they blow away. Speaking of which, there is a website, balloonsblow.org. Please check it out. This stuff is serious, seriously horrible. Do not purchase balloons if they're going to just blow away. Please let the person, if you're gonna gift somebody a balloon because it's cute, made you think of them, you can't help buy them a balloon, please tell them not to let it outside because it kills animals and it could cause other problems like for low-flying planes or for power lines. Thank you. Lots of love. Blessings. Balloons suck. Before I forget, please like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to hear me complain about more stuff that drives me completely insane. There will be more videos to suit those needs. I really wish I had the collection of all the balloons that I've found in the past few years, because it's at least had to have been 20 balloons, and that's just me finding them. There are so many more balloons out there. Please, 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 please help us make a difference. Let's get this stuff out of the environment and make sure it ends up in the trash can where it belongs, or just don't even support this industry of these balloons that drive me completely insane. Please. Thanks, guys. Lots of love and blessings again. Don't release balloons. Look at that. Mylar balloon. Who knows where it will land and what will try to eat it. This is why you should